Can I make a confession, guys? Yeah. I actually really wasn't sure how to start this off. Like, I had no idea. And I feel like I need, especially after Shireen's story, I feel like I need to ask permission to get a little vulnerable. Is that okay with you guys? It's the end of day 2. You guys, we can roll with it? Okay. What I'm going to talk about is called the power of 15 minutes. And if you are looking for something that can dramatically improve your agent attraction efforts, guys, look up here. This is it. Okay? If you're looking for something that can improve your sales business, right? Pay attention. This is the power of 15 minutes. So, if it's okay with you guys, I'd like to start with a story. It's not my story. It's a story about a dear friend of mine, a friend of a lot of ours, someone who is a mentor to me and to a lot of us, and someone who's not with us anymore. His name is Rick Jiha. So, I can't come to an EXP event without thinking about Rick. I mean, I walk around, I've literally only been here 20 minutes, and the first thing I thought was Rick. I picture Rick giving that big Rick Jiha smile everywhere he went. I picture Rick giving that big Rick hug, right? Every time you saw him. Right? I thought about him this morning. I was at the gym even in San Diego. Usually I come to the gym at the EXP events, and Rick was at the gym every single day for every single EXP event I've been at for the last 5 years. You guys know what I'm talking about? He was always there, right? I thought about Rick even in the back of the room when I was standing up there. I was looking up here at the stage, like this exact stage. We were one flight up last year. And Rick was here with his wife, Casey, on stage. You guys remember that? Doing push-ups on stage. Right? He was a picture of health. In case you guys don't know Rick as well, that was Rick. That was not from Maui, but that is Rick doing push-ups. Okay? Like, Rick is just an incredible human being. And then he was gone. Right? Can I just take a moment to give a moment of silence to Rick, guys? Okay. Rick, I really do love you, and I miss you so much. Thanks, guys. I actually reached out to Casey, Rick's wife, before I came up here, like before I wrote this speech. And I asked her, I was like, is it okay if I talk about Rick, right? Like I didn't know if she was going to be here, if it'd be uncomfortable. And she said, absolutely, right? She said, it keeps his influence, it keeps his legacy going. And she sent me photos, and she was, we went back and forth. It was an amazing thing. And here's the thing. EXP and revenue share made a huge impact in Rick's life. Huge. And even though he's passed on, revenue share still continues to make an impact for Casey, for his kids and their family, for his grandchild, and who knows how many more generations. You guys get that? Okay? I can't look at that photo without getting emotional. Here's the reason why revenue share made such an impact for him, and I hope you guys get this. It's because he made an impact on so many, right? And so I want to say, I'm just curious, raise your hand if you knew Rick or knew of Rick in this room. Wow. Okay, that's like everybody. So, something you guys may not know, and again, I had permission to share this, but Rick had a heart attack while he was on a Zoom call, a recruitment-related Zoom call. And I'm not saying this to scare anyone in this room, okay? I'm not trying to say if you want to build, a massive revenue share organization that you're going to be, obligated to Zoom meetings until your very last day. But I'm telling you this because I truly believe in my heart that there is no way that Rick knew that would be his last day. There's just no way. if Rick loved helping people, right, guys? Like, he loved helping people. He loved helping agents grow their business, and he loved helping agents change their lives. And Rick loved EXP, but there is a lot of things he loved more. Like his wife, Casey. Like his kids, right? Like his grandkid. And so if he knew it was his last day, or even his last hour on earth, I guarantee you he would not have been on that Zoom meeting. I guarantee it. And that's just the thing. He didn't know, right? He was on stage a year ago doing push-ups here in Maui. Picture of health. Now he's not with us. I'm sure some of you know this phrase, tomorrow is not promised. You guys know that? Right? The reason I'm telling you about Rick, because I do have a reason, not just trying to make you go down this emotional journey for, like, truly, when you pause, when you're really present to the fact and you start considering just how special every minute is. I felt it as soon as I walked in this room. I haven't been here for 2 days. I just walked in, but I was talking to Brent back. There's an energy in this room. Do you guys feel like there's a reason why you ended up here in these chairs? The people who are in this room, this is a pretty amazing event in an amazing place, okay? And it's not just things like this that are special. It's in the small moments that every minute truly is special. So since Rick's passing, I mean, I actually wake up some mornings, because I actually have a little picture from Rick from his celebration of life that's sitting on my nightstand. I still keep it there. And I wake up some mornings and I think to myself, I kind of whisper, I'm like, I'm alive. I don't know if you guys find that. And some mornings I wake up and it's like, I'm alive! No? Is that just me? I do it quietly. My wife's asleep next to me. It's like 4 a.m. But like, I really do think, guys, how lucky am I? How lucky am I that I get to do this thing again, this thing called life that we all get to do. So, that really is the gift that Rick left with all of us to make every minute count. And there's one last thing I want to tell you about Rick, right? You probably know this. Some of you guys in the back know this. In addition to being an inspiring leader, right? In addition to being just a being full of love, Rick was also an incredibly effective human being at anything he put his mind to. Anything, right? And that brings us back to the power of 15 minutes. So, the strategy I'm going to teach you, because I had to get you present to how important 15 minutes can be, and every minute can be. You guys with me now? Okay. The strategy I'm going to teach you, it's really good for building your sales business. It's incredible for agent attraction. I want you guys to raise your hand. Not yet, good, no. You guys wait, you're all patient, it's good. Raise your hand if part of your business plan this year is to focus on selling more houses. Raise your hand. Come, a lot of you guys, all right? Raise your hand if you are, this year, part of your business plan is focused on revenue share. Raise your hand. All the same people. So I guess I should ask, how many of you are focused on both? Raise your hands high and proud, you're focused on both. That's okay. Let the record show, by the way, for those of you watching the video recording later, that's like everyone in the room focused on both building their sales business and building revenue share. Okay? So, here's what I need to tell you. There's only 3 things you need to be successful in life. There's only 3 for whatever you do. Okay? Whether it's selling more homes, recruiting agents, 3 things. You need to be, number 1, coachable. I love that you guys are taking notes. I didn't have to tell you to take notes. Those of you not taking notes, you can take pictures or remember it later. It's only 3 things, pretty easy. If you like to write it down, it does help you remember. Okay? You need to be coachable. Psst, write it down. We'll see if you're coachable. All right. Number 2, willing. And number 3, hungry. Is anyone hungry, by the way? I don't even know what time it is in Hawaii. But okay. All right. So, let's break them down. One at a time. Let's see. Actually, before I break them down, I want to see if you guys find the same thing as me. I have found that the most successful people in literally anything they do are all 3 of those. Raise your hand if you're like, yep, I agree with that. Okay, so now we can break them down. Coachable. Pretty darn straightforward, coachable. It means you're willing to listen to guidance. It means you're willing to follow a proven path, not just smile and nod and then do whatever you want to do. Only 2 of you got that. The rest of you are offended because you're like, I'm talking about me. Okay? So raise your hand if you're coachable. Fantastic. All right. Next, how about willing? Willing means you're willing to get into action even if it means getting out of your comfort zone just a little bit, right? Raise your hand, guys, if you guys are willing. Awesome. Okay. Number 3. Hungry. Personally, I prefer starving, but I'll take hungry, or even just a little nibble, right? So that's how badly you want this. Brent Gove, when he joined EXP, you've heard his story. How many of you guys have heard Brent's story multiple times? Can you hear the hunger when he tells his story? Half the people came across this stage, you can hear the hunger, right? Some of you guys are leaders in the room. You have already built revenue share groups, right? Some of you guys run sales teams in the room. Those of you who are leaders or run sales teams, can you tell when someone is hungry? Yeah. Not a trick question. Absolutely you can, right? By the way, I left this out of my intro. I'm kind of doing the memento version of this, James. I've been at EXP here for 5 years. I have 33 people active on my front line and over 1,500 people in my organization. Woohoo! I work that in the middle of it because I don't even focus on that anymore. Like, I'm so grateful and so blessed for what it is, but I focus on the small actions that it takes every day to continue to just enrich agents' lives and continue to grow. And that's what I want to show you guys. It's not about the big numbers. It's about the small steps you can do in 15 minutes or less. Make sense? Yep. Half of you guys still have to sell houses. That's okay. Brent's told you 6 times to sell less houses. I know that. But you can't. You got to feed yourself. You got to pay your mortgage, right? So when you sell houses all day long, there's little bits of time that you find here and there. That's what we're going to be talking about. Make sense? So for everyone in the room, I didn't ask this one, but I just want to make sure we're all being honest. How many of you will raise your hand, I am proud, and say, I am hungry? All right. You guys sound like you're more sleepy. Like, I'm not a big like repeat after me sort of thing, but like really, like I want, like, how many of you guys are hungry? Okay, say, I'm hungry. I'm hungry. There we go. Maybe I should be a repeat after me, guys. It's kind of fun. All right. So, are you guys ready to get into action then? Yes. Yeah? All right. So, we're going to do something the next few minutes together as a group because I have found, since I was a little child, that there's safety in numbers. This is not a hug a tree thing. This is like a find a partner and hold their hand sort of thing. Okay? Metaphorically speaking. So, okay, before I tell you what we're going to do, I want to take a little pulse of the room. How many of you would be willing to raise your hand and say, I'm in, before I even tell you what it is, right? Anybody? Oh, you guys are my people. I love that. I'm a yes before I even know what I'm saying yes to. That's why Brent says talk to James or Rob. He'll say yes to everything. All right, a lot of you guys. Here's my commitments. Ready? Those of you that aren't fully in yet, we're going to give you commitments. Number one, I promise it will be easy. Totally comfortable, authentically you, right? Number 2, in a minute when I explain what we're going to do, you're going to say, yup, that'll work. Okay? And number 3, right? Last but not least, you're going to feel like I could do that. Make sense? Okay? So, in a minute, we're going to take a tiny step into action. And what we're going to do is I'm not going to tell you what we're going to do. I'll tell you in a minute, okay? But it's going to make a massive difference. She's taking pictures of me. I get really focused. A massive difference in your business this year. Whether it's your sales business, okay? Talking about your income, your life. It's a bold claim, but in 15 minutes or less, I'm not going to fix your life because you don't need to be fixed, right? It's no good or bad. It's just helpful or unhelpful. But we're going to put you on a path that's going to launch you for this month. Cool? All right. So it's only going to take a few minutes. Pretty cool. Now that you know the 3 commitments, now how many people will raise their hand and be like, I'm in. I'm going to play along. Raise your hand. High and proud. I got well, that's everybody. I'll take it. Let the record show that's everybody. All right. So I'm going to show you guys the power of 15 minutes, right? We're going to see exactly how much you can accomplish in a short period of time. And let's talk again about why 15 minutes, though. How many of you here are real estate agents? Just make sure I'm talking to the right crowd. They're like shy now. They're like, that's no. Not a trick question. How many of you have a real estate license? Let's try that. How many of you can spell the word estate? Anyway, all right. So in real estate, when you're an agent, there's these little 15-minute blocks of time everywhere in your life, everywhere, that you're not using. Little chunks that aren't being used. You get to an inspection early. Your client's running late. It's never you. It's always your client, right? You're waiting for the next fill-in-the-blank whatever, and you find these 15-minute chunks of time. You guys starting to picture this already in your world during the week? And when you start paying attention to this, you're going to find the 15-minute gaps everywhere. So I'm going to prove to you how much you can do when you focus, even if it's just for a short amount of time. You guys ready? Okay, but first, I have to teach you one more concept. So, ready for this? That's not a math equation, although it looks like it. It's a very simple phrase. All business is what? Does anyone have a guess? Weird hand gestures and awkward poses. I don't know, right? All business is conversation. Write it down. This one I want you to write down. I'm going to explain it in a minute, and I hope it's going to hit you the same way it hit me. I had a mentor who taught me this, okay? All business is conversation. Let's break it down. When you're done writing, look back up here. All business is conversation. Talking, chit-chatting. Ready? Visualization. You can close your eyes if it won't make you fall asleep. Otherwise, keep your eyes open. If you're driving a vehicle right now, I'm confused because you're in a physical room, but you know, I do a lot of Zoom calls. I have to make sure I talk to people when they're driving. Okay. Only 2 of you guys got that who run Zoom calls. All right. Think about where your last transaction came from. How did it start? How about the last buyer or seller you worked with? It started with a conversation, right? But you're thinking to yourself, no. I bought that lead. I took money and I paid for it. Or someone sent me a referral. They sent me that buyer or seller. And then what did you do? You had a conversation. Make sense? All business is conversation. And I can't overstress how simple this concept is. And when you get it, it makes everything so much easier. Because all of you guys talk to people all day long. And yet somehow when it comes to sales situations or recruitment situations, you find it a lot more intimidating to talk. I have no idea why. Right? Does anyone relate to that? Just talking. Okay, so maybe you had a conversation on the phone. Some of you who are younger than me, maybe it's only via text message because you don't know how to pick up the phone anymore, or you choose not to. It's not an age thing, but it is an age. No, I'm kidding. Maybe it's a DM. Maybe it's a video text, right? But it's conversations. Gino, he loves text messages. All the time. That's all he does all day long, right? So, all business is conversation. I'm going to say it one more time. All business is conversation. How many of you have ever sponsored an agent to EXP? Raise your hand. Look around the room. How cool is that, by the way? All right, so when you sponsored that agent, it started with a conversation, correct? All business is conversation. 4 words. That's it. Big impact. Make sense? Now we all together? All right, so I talked about Rick Jiha earlier. And I want to give full credit to another one of my mentors for this concept. Actually, a lot of what I'm teaching in the second part of this is from a guy named Eric Worre. He wrote a book called Go Pro. Has anyone read that one? Awesome. It took me 4.5 years at EXP before I found it. I have no idea why. But I'd highly recommend reading it. It's very good. It's basic stuff, not related to EXP, but it's like an hour and 45 minutes of an audiobook. I don't get any money if you buy it. I don't get any money if you listen to it. I just love it. Hour and 45 minutes of audiobook at 1.5 times speed. If you listen to normal speed, it's like 2.5 hours. Cool? That's what he looks like. That's the dude. So he taught a lot of this stuff to me. And just so you know, credentials on Eric, like he's not making this stuff up. He's trained over 1,000 people to be 7-figure earners through building organizations. He's trained over 10,000 people to earn 6 figures. Again, I'm not selling anything to do with him. I have nothing to do with him other than I want you to know the activity we're about to do came from him, and he's done it a lot, and it works. Does that make sense? So when Eric taught me this, what we did was for about an hour. But I talked to James outside, and he said, we don't have time to do this for an hour. Plus, I'm a little ADD. Is anyone else in here a little ADD? Okay? So I shortened it down to 15 minutes, right? 15 minutes. I do this with my EXP organization as a group on Zoom once a month for 15 minutes. Last month, we had 97 people on Zoom doing this together. And guess what? They all survived. All of them. We're going to do it again tomorrow, okay? So we already have people doing this. They do it on their own. They do it in small groups, finding an additional 15-minute blocks throughout the week. This is the power of 15 minutes. So raise your hand again if you're still ready to get into action. Fantastic. All right, do you guys need a stretch break? We need to move, dance, anything before we do this? We feeling good? Do I need to dance for you? No, we're good. All right, cool. So let's have some fun with this. Ready? Here's what we're doing. We're going to spend the next however many minutes James tells me, 15 minutes. There we go. The slide deck's built for that, so we're set. We're going to spend the next 15 minutes just starting conversations. I'm going to give you some guidance. Don't worry, it's not even scary. Okay? It's going to be, by the time you see this guidance, 2 more minutes, we're going to jump in. I'm going to do a little bit of talking throughout, but I'm mainly going to be quiet while you guys do this because you can't listen to me in text or DM, right? So here's what we're going to do. Number 1, we're going to pick a group. It doesn't matter to me what you're focused on for today. Are you focused on your past clients and sphere? Cool. Pick that group. Are you focused on some long-term buyer and seller leads in your database? Pick that one. Or most of you guys are here like me because you're absolutely committed to building an incredible EXP organization, right? Building revenue share income. Probably want to focus on that because that's the one you forget to do sometimes. Agreed? Okay. So if you already have a list with you, fantastic. I didn't tell you to bring a list. This is a surprise activity. But if you have how many guys have a list of people in your phone on you with you at all times that you're like, fantastic. There we go. I love that Brent rose his hand. Gene, you got a list on you? I guarantee he does. Always, okay? Notice, by the way, the people who have the largest organizations always carry a list, just saying. So if you don't have a list, don't worry. You can open your phone and just look at the people you've done deals with. Like you could literally just start looking at people on Facebook, wherever. Plenty of agents. In 15 minutes, you're not going to run out of people. Agreed? I don't care if you talked to them a year ago about EXP. Anything a year or longer, it's reset, back to zero. Here's what we're going to do. We are going to spend 15 focused minutes sending text messages, direct messages. It could be a Facebook message, Instagram message, LinkedIn message, TikTok message. I don't care. Don't send too many on one platform. Facebook will start to throttle you, like it won't deliver your stuff, right? Maybe 10 on one platform, then go to another one. Video text messages. Maybe if you wanted to be quiet, you could step outside. Maybe you think it's cool, right? You get a video phone. You're just like, I'm at this event. This is so cool. I was thinking of you, right? I'm going to give you examples. I'll give you specific scripts. If any of you are from strange time zones, do we have anyone from Antarctica here, North Pole, like cold climate? No? Puerto Rico. That's a strange time zone. That's a time zone to itself. If you're really worried that people, they don't want a text from you right now, by the way, most people shut off their phones. You cannot disturb them. Like you can text them anytime. I wake up at 3 in the morning and text people, and they think I'm insane when they read it, but I don't. They're sleeping. They don't look at it. If you're really, truly uncomfortable, you can send an email. It's not nearly as effective. You can send a LinkedIn in message, whatever, but you guys get this? Okay. Anything that will start a conversation. Anything. Let's give some examples. But here's a ground rule. Don't overthink this. How many of you are already overthinking this? 1, 2 people are honest. 3 people, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right, the rest of you are lying. Half of you are already doing it. It's great. I love it. The room's totally divided. People are jumping in. We haven't started. I'll put a timer on in a second. So here's what we're going to do, guys. This is an example of a video text message. How many of you have sent a video text message in your life to someone? Cool. This is a little bonus tip. Do you do this? Do you put the words underneath it with the fingers pointing up? So in the preview screen, they can actually see, because you see the top one, the preview just says attached 1 video. And when you see attached 1 video and you're in the grocery store and your kids are running in circles or you're in the middle of doing something else, you don't click on that. Or if you do, you're like, ugh. But if there's a little preview, it's like, hey, just drove past one of your listings. Looks great. You're going to click on that because it feels good and you can tell what it is. Does that make sense? So that's the bonus tip. If you're going to send a video text, send the word-based version after it with little fingers pointing up so people can read it in the preview screen. You all do this. We used to screen. How many of you are old enough to remember screening your phone calls? Yes. This is my crowd, apparently. I'm 44 years old. So, yeah, Jeff does. Okay, cool. People screen their text messages now. You look at it like, I don't want that one, right? So make sure you're showing up the right way. What else? You're just warming up your list tonight. You're just warming it up. You are not talking about EXP. The first rule of Fight Club, you don't talk about Fight Club. First rule of this starting conversations, you're not talking to EXP, you're just being friendly. How many of you know how to be friendly without me even training you on it? 2 of you? I don't know idea to be friendly. Really? You guys know how to be friendly? All right, but I'll give you more examples. Ready? During the 15-minute period, do not reply back to anyone who messages you. Some of you get really twitchy and anxious when I even say that. You're like, but if someone texts me back, I need to respond back to them. Don't I? Don't I? Don't I? Don't I? Don't I? How long should I do this? Don't I? Don't. No, you don't. You can wait 15 minutes to text them back. Got it? It's focused. Focus 15 minutes. You're going to see how much you can do in 15 minutes. At the end, respond back to everybody. I'm the last speaker. Spend the rest of the night responding to all these messages. Halfway through tomorrow. Make sure you get to dinner. Other than that, though, you can spend all night texting people or talking to people in the room. Both. Got it? So, if you are dying, those of you who are OCD or anxious or any combination of OCD anxious, is that a word? Anxiously OCD. If you must respond to someone, type out a cut and paste response that just says, hey, got your message, I'm in the middle of something, I'll hit you back later. But in your own speak, however you say it, just copy and paste it. If you really can't stand seeing that little blue dot there, I've got 475 unread text, whatever, I got used to it, okay? Because here's what you're going to do. You're going to send out a message like this. Saw your name in my phone. Made me smile. Just want to say Happy New Year. Hope you're doing well. You guys get that? I put him in two separate bubbles here so you could easily read it from the back of the room. However, because I now trained you about the preview screen, want to move out of the way so you can take a picture? I'll keep going this way, this way. All right, so if you sent it this way as two separate messages, what are they going to see in the preview screen? Just the second one. You guys got that? So think about when you're sending these. I usually send it as one message, not two separate ones. That's just so you can read it. Here's another example. Bonus tip. If you want to reply, and with a question mark, right? In this one, is this person going to reply to you? Maybe. I don't know. Maybe not. But let's see, what if you do this, right? Saw your name in my phone. Made me smile. Just wanted to say Happy New Year. Hope you're doing well. Any big plans for 2024? Ends with a question, open-ended question. Depending on how well you know them. This is not a script you need to copy word for word. Like, tailor it to how well you know these people. Does that make sense, guys? Simple stuff. All right? Question mark. Last couple things. We'll dive in. Another example. I keep seeing your open house signs in my neighborhood. By the way, I did this. I'm currently in the process of attracting an agent that I literally have no idea who she was, but I saw her open house sign on a holiday. I don't remember which holiday it was, but it was some holiday when the rest of the world, or maybe it was the Super Bowl. It was something where like the rest of the world was not working, and this person had open house signs all around the neighborhood. And I sent them a text message. I was literally pulled over to the red light with my kids in the car. I'm like, hold on, guys, I got to send a quick text. And I'm like, hey, so-and-so, you don't know me at all. I'm a local realtor, but I just saw your signs. Man, you are out here kicking butt on this holiday. I hope you have an amazing open house. That's it. Has anyone ever gotten a nice message like that? No? Wouldn't it feel good if you did? Yes. Wouldn't you be like, wow? Or would you be like, dirtbag, he's trying to recruit me? Didn't even cry, because I wasn't trying to recruit her in this moment, right? I'll tell you what to do after we start conversations at the end, okay? But look, I just wanted to say I respect what you're doing. The marketing looks amazing. You can do it whatever version you want here. All right, if you don't know them that well, guys, don't end with a question mark. Because if you're texting a random stranger and you ask an open-ended question, they're going to be like, no. Like they don't know you. It's creepy. It's weird, right? Use question marks for people you're already engaging in a dialogue, and everybody else kind of build up to it. Make sense? Okay. Any of these could be video text messages, by the way. Those scripts I just showed you, turn it into a video. Doesn't matter. Either one. All right. Let's have some fun with this. Let's be authentic. Let's be you. The pressure's off, right? It's only 15 minutes long. And if you don't want to ever text them again, you don't have to. You get that? We're just going to send text for 15 minutes. James, still good for 15 minutes? Fantastic. All right, put a timer up here, guys. Clock is ticking. Pretend I'm paying you $100 a text message for every conversation you start for the next 15 minutes. Thank you, Rob. I'm telling you, you guys focus on this. You're going to launch yourself for the month. Just start sending out texts. And we'll get past the next slide. Here we go. Congratulations, guys. By the way, it is an incredibly scary thing as a speaker to tell people to get on their phones. You will never get your audience back. So I got like 2 more minutes of stuff. I want to tell you what to do with these conversations, guys. When you get to a stopping place, put your phone down, look back up here. I know it's going to be incredibly hard to, right? Look back up here. Look back up here. Look back up here. Look to the back of the room. Look left. Look right. Are you still here? Cool. All right. Was that fun? Yeah. 2 yeses. Was that hard? Let's be honest. No. Okay. It was. Some of you thought it was fun. Some it wasn't fun. But did anyone think it was hard? No. Okay. I'm going to explain why that was valuable in case we can't connect the dots in 2 minutes or less. But you guys already see how that's going to lead to either buyer and seller deals, attraction conversations. You guys get that? Just what you did there. You just anybody start more than like 10 conversations? Raise your hand if you start at least 10 text conversations. Raise your hand, high and proud. Look around the room, guys. That's if we still have 80 people in here, I don't know the head count, at least starting 10 each, that's 800 conversations we just started in 15 minutes. Okay, those of you anyone in here have an EXP organization they've already built? Imagine getting your group on a Zoom like I do to do this. Every month we start 500 conversations, 1,000 conversations in 15 minutes. And then our crew follows those conversations over the next few weeks. Does that make sense? So let me explain this. Here's what we do, okay? Now that you have some conversations going, you're going to keep replying back and forth, but you don't have to do it in real time. You're going to let it breathe sometimes, maybe even for a few days, right? You guys get this? Like, you just sent a random text to someone, they send you one back, you go boom, 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 bounce back and forth, let it breathe. Let it breathe. That's where some of you guys are getting it wrong. You got to give it space, and then you come back again. Boom, 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 go back and forth like a tennis match and let it breathe, right? This is why you can handle however. Did anyone start more than 20 conversations? Brent did. Brent, how many did you start? 25 conversations. Sherry, how many did you start? 25. 26. Oh my! And by the way, having a guest in the room, right? Because I think Sherry told you I invited her here. Having a guest in the room who's starting conversations is one of the most exciting things you could ever see. Do you guys get that?
The reason I'm sitting here is because you have done this to me.
If you couldn't hear in the back, I'll repeat it for the recording. She said the reason she is sitting here is because I have done this to her. This is literally how I've operated for the last 5 years, guys. It wasn't until I read this book that I actually put a structure around it. So you're going to let it breathe, and you're going to add more value. Maybe the value comes by being a friend. Maybe the value is what Shireen's talking about. Maybe the value is inviting them to a training in person, online. You guys get it? Add value, add value, add value. And then you're going to pivot it back to business. If you're talking about life, pivot to business. And at some point, you're going to make an invitation for them to learn more about EXP. At some point. Remember I said at the beginning you don't, but at some point you will. Right? And I can help train you guys later. I mean, I don't sell coaching, I don't sell training, truly. I told these guys, like I love EXP, and I love every one of you that's in this room who's committed to the same dream as me, which is changing this industry. Okay? That's what lights me up. That's what lights me up. So, you want to know the real secret? Here's how we're going to wrap up. Want to know the real secret to building a massive organization at EXP? You guys have probably heard someone say before, the secret to success. You guys know what it is? You've heard this. Don't quit. How many of you guys have heard that? It's not, someone said that's right. I mean, I'd love to believe it's right. I would love to believe it's right. But that can't be the secret. How many agents do you know that have been here year after year after year? They haven't quit, but they're clearly not successful yet. I'm just being real. Okay, so what is the secret? If it's not don't quit, what is it? There's more to it than that. Here's the secret. Don't quit and get a little better every day. Does that make sense? Don't quit and get a little better every day. Guys, thank you all for being here. Truly. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I believe in you guys so much. I believe in you more than you probably believe in yourself, right? I want you guys to borrow my belief until you can build up your own. Remember the power of 15 minutes. And Brent's going to come on back up here. I'll invite you to something tomorrow morning. Those of you guys who can't sleep and don't want to get on the beach. Brent, was that fun?
It was great.
Good.
Invite him.
All right, so tomorrow, if you want to do a little more of this, I do a weekly training call with my group every Thursday. It's like noontime in California, so that would make it here 10 a.m. Yep. I told these guys I was going to do it in my hotel room, just like for my crew on Zoom, but this room is empty, and if you would like, I can come sit in this room and do it here and like put my organization will be up on the Zoom screen here. You guys will be doing it live in the room. We'll talk a little bit about finding prospects. We'll do another power of 15 minutes. Like we'll just do a little deeper dive version of this. It's about an hour long from 10 to 11 here. No pressure. Again, I'm not selling anything. I don't have anything to sell. I'm just opening it up to you guys. If you want to come have some fun, that's where I'll be tomorrow at 10 o'clock. Cool?
Thank you, Jesse. Dude, that's awesome. Good job. So here's the deal. You guys think it's so complicated. What if you did 15 minutes of this? And was kind of, I like to focus. I was going crazy as he was talking to us. I'm like, just let me think. That's a driver in me, right? It's just turn the music down. Let me think, But I also want to beat every single person in here. I hope you're a little bit competitive. And so that's number one. Number two, but what if you did 15 minutes every day? You have time. You just may not have the motivation, may not have the hunger, may not have the courage, but it's quick, just fast as you could text, whatever you could think of. And you did that for every week, right? 5 days a week. And then you do that every month. A year from now, you'd have a massive revenue share organization. Like they say, it's not magic, it's what? Motion. And we just sit there and think, Tony Robbins, the premier coach goes, if you're in your head, you're dead. If you're in your head, you're dead. You're in your head. It won't work on Hawaii because of this. It won't work for me because of that. And you're in your head. You're okay, fine. You win the argument. If you argue for your limitations, you get to keep them. Good. You're broke. You're tired. And you don't have a retirement. Right? I mean, that's how it is. My parents did real estate for 55 years for Coldwell Banker. They were stars. They retired. 10 years ago, maybe 12 years ago, they haven't been paid $1. 55 years worth of deposits and not $1 of return. You would never invest your money that way. Why do you invest your time that way? And I'm telling you, 22 years in the armed forces, and thank you, 50, and in 3 years with very little focused effort, he makes more. And you guys beat yourself up, well, I haven't figured it out yet. I didn't figure out listings for 10 years until I wanted it. And so, Jesse, thank you for offering to be here. I hope you're here tomorrow morning at 10 a.m., that you're a part of that. Me, personally, I'm golfing. But I'm just being honest, I'm going to be at Kapalua, just straight up, But I was so excited to be a part of this whole thing because I mark everyone favorites and I have a list there. People in my phone that just come up at the push of a button. That's why I was able to go so fast. I'm just like, well, let's go, let's game on. So who did over 10 stand up? Over 10, stand up. I want to see. Don't feel bad if you didn't. 10, over 10. Okay, you guys come forward, up here. Get up here, all you 10, get up here. All right. Get up here, 10. Come on, fast. We're good. Everyone's got to go to dinner. Okay? Get up here, 10 or more. Here we go. If you did over 10, if you did over 10, 10, you did 10 or more. Sorry if I was not clear. Thought I said that. 10 or more. Over 10, 10 or more. If you did 10 or more, okay. Wow, it's a lot of you. Okay, so I want to go around I'm sorry, just real quick. What is your number? How many did you do? We'll go over here.
10.
14.
10.
11. 12. 35. Man, why'd you have to stand right here?
29. 17. 10. You skipped, but you jumped in front.
That's okay. I already said 25.
I'm just busting his chops. He did 25, okay.
I was too busy typing to count, so I'm going to say 15 to 20.
Okay, good. 12, 23, 10.
25.
Awesome. That is phenomenal. Give these guys a hand. Don't leave yet. Now, if you did 15 or more, stay up here. The rest of you guys grab a seat. 15 or more. Oh, yeah. Right here. Here you go. Bring it in tight. Okay. So here's the deal. I want to hear your numbers again. How many did you do? 25? 23? 25. Okay, you switch places. How many did you do? 17?
29.
Okay, get over here. And 35 over here. So I'm at the 25s here. So you did 30-something?
35.
35?
29.
25? 25, 25, 23, 17. Okay, so what we're going to do is this is our first place winner. He didn't know I was going to do this, but I'm going to give you $400 cash tomorrow. Congratulations. My second place winner is going to get $300 cash. My third place winner is going to get $200 cash, and you did 25 too, right? So I'll give you each 200, and then you did good, so I'm going to give you each $100 cash. And the check's in the mail. No, I'm going to have to pay you before you leave. You guys are leaving town soon. But I'm going to give you cash tomorrow. The rest of you, when you get here, they have to fly back to Oahu tonight. These crazy people. But tomorrow at 3 o'clock. And I didn't want to incentivize. I just want to see who has the fire and the competitive spirit. And the rest of you get that, okay? So congratulations. Give yourself a hand. And wait. We'll do it right now. So the ones I owe, you guys are leaving. You're leaving town tonight, and it was 100, right? And then how much were you getting? No, it was not 500. Did you see that? How much was it? What did I say for you guys? Okay, there's 200 for you. Give me some more money. And 200 for you. We got a bag full of cash. That's how we roll around here. Bag full of cash. I don't carry the cash. Mug him. He's got the cash. Is that I got to pay these guys. Do we have more money?
Everybody, I thought you someone had to leave town.
They do have to leave town.
I was just doing the ones that leave town.
All right, we'll get.
I only have 20s left. Too.
Only have 20s left. Okay, forget it. We're broke. Now, you guys, I'll pay. Did I pay you? You'll be here tomorrow. Right? So I'm going to pay you tomorrow. I paid you, right? I know, I wanted to. We were 300, weren't you?
No, I was 2.
You were 2? Okay, good. So I owe you tomorrow, and I owe you 2 tomorrow, right? And how much? 4? 3, 1. So don't let me forget. You're going to walk up to me. All right. All right. Give him a hand. Good job, you guys. You bet. You bet. You bet. All right. Don't thank me. Thank Rob. Thank Rob. Okay, so as we wrap this up, as we wrap up day 2, I want to, thank you for being here. You are the 1%ers. There's a lot of people that could have been here. Over 700. You guys, hold on, up here. Over 700 EXP agents on the islands or something like that. They all knew about this. And they have their reasons why they couldn't be here. The Sheraton Black Rock's too expensive. I don't like the hotel. I don't have time. I'm too busy. I've heard it before. Whatever. Hey, good for them. But I know that 15-minute drill is going to change my life. I got 15 minutes. I've already had 9 responses to my 25. I mean, that was really cool. What if you do that every day? What can happen? This is not a pipe dream. This is a reality if you so choose it. And I'm telling you what, 20 million agents around the globe. Michael Valdez confirmed I was right. 20 million by his estimate, 20 million. We went to separate places. 19,900,000 are not with us. The future is going to be absolutely incredible if you choose it to be so. And I just want to thank you for taking time to be here. And tomorrow we're going to finish hard. We're going to finish strong.